Hello. So I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but don't worry, I should be back to making regular videos soon. And we're gonna kick things off with kind of like a part two to my last video, where I made these hidden activation devices. We're gonna take the output from these and put them into these, but we're not actually like physically gonna do that in the video, but I'm actually giving you something to apply these to. So yeah, we've got here a 5 unique designs, but 6 doors, because these two are basically the same thing. We've got the classic 2x2, 2x1 flush piston doors, the 2x2 flush piston trapdoor, what I'm calling the L door, the 2x2, I think, hipster door or something, and the 5x5 hipster door. So yeah, there isn't too much else to say. Let's get into things. Starting down here with the 2x1 piston door. Most people, if they want a redstone based entrance, this is kind of the go-to door. It's extremely simple, as you can see. The redstone components are very far and very few. So, and to make this thing, it's really cheap as well. We only need 4 blocks of choice, and then kind of like 3 blocks that'll exist on the outside. 2 for the door, 1 kind of like where you put the activation thing. Although if I were you, I wouldn't put a lever directly above your door. You need 6 sticky pistons, 3 redstone dust, a torch, then a repeater. And for this example, I'm going to be using a lever, but really you just want a constant pulse. So a redstone block would work as well, or like some other redstone torch or something. So to get started, you're going to want to find yourself a 4x3 area. And vertical wise, you can just look here, it's like 4 blocks. It's very small. So to build it, you want 4 sticky pistons kind of like that. Your door is going to go here, by the way. I've laid out concrete powder and regular concrete, and the door is going to go in between here. So these 2 blocks will become the door. And 2 more pistons like that. Some purple concrete there, but this can be any other block. In most cases, it'll probably be like stone or grass or something. Then 4 blocks like this, in kind of an L shape. Your redstone dust here. Then a repeater facing towards the sticky pistons, set to 2 ticks or above. If it's set to 1 tick like this, then it will not work. Then you want to build out a little bit, place a block there. And for this example, we're just going to have a redstone torch here. And as you can see, the door is closed. If we were to place our lever, we can open and close it at will. And as I said before, obviously, you'd probably do something a little more hidden. Like, probably put your redstone torch on this side and have, like, one of these hidden activation mechanisms turn this guy off. So yes, very straightforward, very, pretty common, but it's common for a reason. Then the 2x2 variant is literally the same thing as this in principle. It's just mirrored a little bit. So you've got slightly more wiggle room to move around in, but it's still only 2 blocks tall, and it's lacking in the grandeur that some of those doors have. And to make it for most components, you just need to double it. Like for the pistons example, you need 12 instead of 6, and 6 redstone dust instead of 3, 2 repeaters, and so forth. So to make it, we're going to start off by making the door that we just made. So again, that would be 4 sticky pistons like this, then 2 like that, blocks here, then the L like that, and then we're going to go ahead and replicate this thing on the other side. So you just go ahead and mirror it, some blocks there, and then redstone dust all over the place, then your repeater set to 2 ticks, and finally a block here with a redstone torch. As you can see, it works just fine. The third door on the list takes this door here and flips it on its side. This is a 2x2 flush piston trapdoor. As you can see, it takes a ordinarily flat expanse and creates a hole which you can drop down. This would be useful in like a plains or a desert biome where maybe you don't have too many like walls or vertical surfaces to put a door on. So yeah, really interesting, but it is a lot larger than the other two doors, unfortunately. But to make it, really all you need, like more than that, like the only real resource you need more of is redstone dust and blocks, but you should get these blocks from mining out the space you need, which by the way is a, if I look at this correctly, a 10x4 space. And the space for that door is basically twice the space for this one. It's a 6x3, so not quite twice the space, but it's close. So, once more, we need the 20 blocks of choice, 4 blocks for the face of the piston, 12 sticky pistons, 23 redstone dust, for repeaters, a torch, and a lever. I use a lever, but of course you can use any other means of just like maintaining a constant pulse on a block. So to start things off, we're going to place 4 pistons here. This is going to be the spot where you drop through, kind of highlighted by the concrete here. 4 sticky pistons here, and then 2 facing upwards. We can go ahead and put these blocks on its faces. And then we can go ahead and place the rest of the blocks, 2 on either side, and then 8 here, and 8 here. If you have solid blocks here, like if I were to put blocks here, then your door would break. Slabs are okay though. But for the example, slabs aren't necessary. So we're just gonna basically make a loop of redstone dust all the way on the outside, and then remove 1. So this adds up to your 23 redstone dust. We can go ahead and place our torch. And we're gonna go ahead and power that so that it doesn't activate right when we place the repeaters. Which, by the way, go in these missing spots here, pointing at the pistons set to 2 ticks or above. Similarly to those doors, a 1 tick repeater will not work. If we take a look, it's working. What else do you expect? Next door. So the L door is very small, and in my opinion, a little cheaty. Mainly just because like there's nothing fancy going on. They're just pistons, kind of cleverly located. And if this were an actual passageway, like you can make a staircase down here, there's a good amount of exposed redstone, and it's just, I'm not a big fan of this door. But it exists, so I'm going to make it. To make it, you do need a 3x5 area, and 2 blocks that you can put on the piston face, 4 blocks of choice, 2 torches, 2 redstone dust, 2 sticky pistons, and a constant source of an output. To make it, we're going to place 2 blocks like this, with redstone dust on top of all of it, torch here, block here, both on top of it, then a block here. And right next to this torch, we're going to place a piston, and then another piston on this block. Put 2 blocks here, and that is your door all done. If you were to power either of these 2 blocks, then the door opens and closes. Very easy, not a big fan of it. Mainly because it's so easy and just kind of like, it's kind of a sorry excuse for a redstone door in my opinion. Next door is slightly more interesting, but that's mainly just because of this little circuit down here. I'm a big fan of this circuit. It's a vertical double piston extender and retractor, and it's just incredible. but the principle behind this door is that you've got a double piston extender that attaches to some slime blocks and some other blocks. So when you walk across this door, you will get that slowness effect, but all the redstone is concealed under the ground. So if you don't have a lot of like hill space on top, then you won't have to worry about that. Other downside to this door is that you do need some non-sticking blocks here, so they don't have to be obsidian. They can be other blocks like melons or chests or shulker boxes. None of it has to be immovable, so it doesn't have to be obsidian. Like the door is confined by the block, is confined by itself. The materials are really easy. You only need 2 sticky pistons, 4 slime blocks, 7 non-movable, well, not non-movable objects, but just objects that won't stick, slime blocks, 4 blocks as the face, and then a button. A lever will not work for this door. You do need kind of like a start and an end to it. You need, I'm not too sure how to explain it, but you need a button. Long story short. Making it's really easy. You're going to build up 2 blocks with pistons. A repeater here. The delay does not matter in this case. Then an observer staring at the repeater for all of eternity. Sitting on the back of the repeater. And then a wall of slime. 4 blocks like this. And a button here. And the door itself is done. But we can go ahead and place the obsidian around it. Not in that spot, around the slime. So now any other block that you place here will be fair game. But those of you who are especially astute will note that the blocks here that would make up the floor to your tunnel attached to the slime, that's not an issue. It's well within the piston push limit. You can still add another 2 blocks if you wanted to, but those were integer redstone, so we're not gonna. So yeah, really simple door. Kind of like it. Although in my opinion, the slowness that it gives you when you walk across it kind of breaks it a little bit. Which is not a weakness that this door has. This gargantuan door is a 5x5 slime honey monolith. And similarly to this door, a button input is recommended, but a lever, I believe, will work just fine too. As you can see, it really just works by updating the observers with the use of droppers, but note blocks or redstone lamps will work as well, but not with a button. If you want to do redstone lamps, then do a lever. I recommend doing droppers though. They're pretty cheap. It's just cobblestone and redstone dust, which you should have plenty of. So to make the base door, you're going to need 4 blocks of choice. 25 blocks to put on the face of the pistons. 10 droppers because it is 2 rows of 5 like that. 10 observers. 25 of slime and honey block. 10 pistons. 5 in non-sticking items. Again, these do not have to be immovable. They're just obsidian because I think it looks kind of nice. 6 redstone torches and then a button. We'll get to these blocks later. To start things off, we are going to go over here and place, I want to say 5 blocks here, then a 6th one there. Droppers all on here. The orientation does not matter, I just think that the upwards facing droppers look the best. Redstone dust all along these blocks here. A block up like that. And this is where you're going to put your button. So we're going to go ahead and put that there. And then we're going to grab our redstone torches and make a tower out of them until we run out of torches. So that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. One more block above it, then a block on the side, and then we can get our non-sticking blocks and make 5 across. Lastly, we're going to take some droppers facing down. That will update the observers when the observers are up here. So now you should have this kind of like staggering thing going here. And before I forget, I'm going to place the remaining redstone dust on top of these blocks here. So now you can hear the dispenser screaming. And those, even though they are delayed a little bit, the door does not move fast enough for it to be an issue. So now all we gotta do is build the door. So that would be 5 downwards facing observers, 5 upwards facing pistons, and then you can either do like 3 prongs of slime or 3 prongs of honey. But I prefer the slime here for no particular reason. There is no benefit to either orientation. There's no change in price as there's the same amount of slime and honey. Then we're going to get this done. Then we're going to go back over here, place our observers facing downwards, then our pistons facing downwards, so the opposite of what we did over here. More prongs of slime and honey. So the way to do this is that if this prong is made out of slime, then this must be made out of honey. If this is honey, then this must be slime. So no honey blocks should be directly next to any other honey blocks. And if you do that, then your door will not break. So now we've got ourselves a flying machine that works just fine. And to finish off the door, we can simply place our 25 blocks that will blend into the environment here. So in most cases, this is going to be stone, but for the sake of demonstration, it is going to be purple concrete. So now if we press the button, you can see the door goes up. Then if we press it again, it comes back down. And I actually haven't tried this before. I believe if we use a lever, it should be the same. Yep, there's no difference. Although I guess with the lever, you don't hear the droppers every time. Small advantage, I guess. Now back down to these. We're going to go ahead and... this is optional. Well, in most cases, it isn't optional. Like, in an actual scenario, you wouldn't want to have your button right next to the redstone because A, that'd be impossible to get to, like without breaking blocks, and it's just an impractical location because the opening of the door is up here. It's just dumb. So we're going to go ahead and remove that, place a block here with some redstone dust on top of it. Again, that's where this extra piece of redstone dust comes in play. And this block here can actually come from this block because we're going to break that. And we are instead going to replace that with a target block. So now the redstone will point at this block. We can go ahead and put our redstone torch back on top. So now we can run any redstone signal we want into the door, which makes it usable in the real Minecraft. So yeah, that's it. That's all I really needed in this video. To do a quick recap, we completed 5 unique door designs, one of which we kind of just like cheated a little bit and made doubly large. But in theory, this all of this should be really helpful if you're really into making secret bases, as 5 different door combinations should keep anyone who tries getting into you a little stumped. And paired with the devices over here that I made in my last video, you shouldn't really have to worry about your secret base being discovered. Unless it's on accident or some reason, but that's unlikely if you hide it well enough. Yeah. Enough jibber jabber. Subscribe, like, share with your friends if they're interested. Share with them anyway if they aren't. I'm still a small channel, so that would help out way more than you could actually imagine. And, bye.